Top 10 Monsterverse Roars. The Monsterverse boasts a wide array of kaijus, or monsters, and every kaiju is unique in its own special way. On top of that, we saw numerous new monsters being introduced as well, and the Monsterverse universe is only widening more and more with each film. Apart from the unique appearance and abilities of each Titan, every Titan also has a distinct sound, or in this case you can say roar, and you can bet each and every roar is something very special. But have you ever thought which kaiju from the Monsterverse has the best roar? Or is our alpha and king of the monsters, Godzilla, still the alpha if we only consider the roars of all Titans? Well, we all must have had such a thought at least once in our minds while watching the movies of the Monsterverse. And it's all natural, since even us here were kind of curious to find out. And therefore we did our own research and have come out with the list of the top 10 roars in the Monsterverse. Welcome back to VCompare, and let's start with the countdown straight away. Number 10, Mothra. Mothra's roar is similar to her past roars, being a sort of screech. There are a few moments in the film where she gives off her classic roar, such as when she goes berserk in her larval state, when she emerges from her cocoon in her imago state, when Gidorah kills her, and can also be heard within Godzilla's nuclear pulse. However, that particular roar when she emerges from her cocoon is something out of this world, and the visuals only do more justice to it. Number 9, Scylla. There is a huge misconception regarding Scylla, with many fans still thinking that it's a spider monster like Kumonga. Although Scylla is actually a giant armored cephalopod daikaiju, which means that it's similar to a giant squid or kraken. Scylla takes the 9th spot in our list with her short and quick chattering roars, because if you listen to it properly, it's something straight out of a nightmare or a horror movie. Number 8, Skullcrawler. The roar of the Skullcrawler is very high in tone, possessing a raspy quality with a hiss and a growl mixed in between. According to supervisor, sound designer, editor Al Nelson, the Skullcrawler roar was inspired by the pained squeal of a dying rabbit, as well as the sounds of sea lions and squirrels. Some of its sounds were recycled from an Indominus Rex from the 2015 film Jurassic World. So it does very well deserve a place in our top 10, and it takes the 8th spot. Number 7, the Mutos. At number 7 we have the Mutos, and they all have very unique roars, many of which are deep and blaring with occasional crackles and snapping noises. At a few points the Mutos make trumpet-like cries and groans similar to creaking doors or Geiger counters. The male and female vocalizations are slightly different. The male emits higher-pitched calls and shrieks, while the female has deeper, more guttural roars. Both Mutos emit distinctive chirps and clicks when they touch snouts as a courtship greeting. Number 6, Methuselah. Taking the 6th spot in our list of top 10 roars is the mountain titan Titanus Methuselah. Methuselah is a 4-legged giant animal plant-rock hybrid daikaiju with horns on his head. Methuselah's most noticeable physical trait is the gigantic mountain he carries on his back, which allows him to blend into the landscape, and his massive roars are really remarkable as well. Number 5, Behemoth. Behemoth is an ape-sloth Bigfoot-like giant mammalian daikaiju, having a furry body with 2 giant tusks coming out from its mouth, similar to a woolly mammoth. His roar too complements his appearance, given that he lets out low roars with elephant-like rumbles. This titan is majestic from every angle, and his roar deservingly takes a spot in the top 5. Number 4, King Kong. The king of Skull Island, Kong will soon be facing the alpha of all kaijus later this year, and the giant ape Daikaiju is loved by all and probably has a separate fanbase. As for his roar, Kong's island-shaking roar is something very spectacular indeed. Sound designer Al Nelson was responsible for creating our island homeboy's roar, which was adapted from the sounds of lions, gorillas, and monkeys. On top of that, to fully capture the desired island-shaking levels, the sound team set up a speaker system at Skywalker Sound and played Kong's bellows and roars through a 5.1 channel system. Number 3. Rodan. Rodan's roar is more akin to a screech or a scream and is quite different from the roars of his previous incarnations. The filmmakers recorded vocalizations of cranes, owls, penguins, and vultures to implement them into Rodan's sounds. Rodan also makes low guttural clicks and growls that sound oddly similar to the Muto, but deeper in tone. Though there are a few moments where Rodan's roars sound roughly similar to his Showa roar. With that, the giant flying reptilian Daikaiju takes a well-deserved third spot. Number 2. King Gidorah. So, taking the second spot in our list of top 10 roars in the Monsterverse is the three-headed dragon Daikaiju, King Gidorah. Gidorah's roar in the Monsterverse is meant to emulate his original high-pitched cackling roar from the Showa series, but far more intense and louder. The unique point of this incarnation's roar is that sometimes Gidorah's heads will roar one by one continuously 3 times. That roar is pretty special indeed. Number 1. Godzilla, 2014 and 2019. Ever a doubt who is taking the first place? The king of the monsters is no doubt the alpha of the Monsterverse, and he's the alpha when it comes to his roar as well. Since the Godzilla roar is considered one of the most famous sound effects in film history, sound designers Eric Adal and Ethan Van der Ryn were tasked with paying homage to it while revamping it and creating something new. Additionally, Godzilla can make sounds other than roaring, best demonstrated after killing the male Muto, and when he collapses to Ford's level, he growls in a soft way that sounds similar to a cat purring. Godzilla's iconic roar takes away the top spot for our list of top 10 roars in films. Long live the king. Well, that was all for this video. Make sure you're subscribed to VCompare for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you around the next time. Peace.